You've never met another person. You've only met yourself wearing different faces. This sounds impossible, maybe even absurd. But what if every person who's ever frustrated you, every situation that's ever trapped you, every pattern that keeps repeating in your life is actually you meeting yourself over and over again? What if every problem you've ever faced was the same problem in disguise? There's a reason your relationships feel familiar, even when they're with different people. There's a reason certain challenges keep showing up no matter how many times you move, change jobs, or start over. There's a reason you can predict how things will go wrong before they do. You're not cursed. You're not unlucky. You're watching the same movie on repeat, and you forgot you're the one who wrote the script. That person who frustrates you most, the one whose very presence makes your blood pressure rise, they're not the problem. They're you showing you what you can't see in yourself. The mirror doesn't lie. You've just been attacking the reflection thinking it was separate from you. Here's what changes everything. Your entire life is a projection of your psyche. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, every emotion that moves through you, it's all your unconscious, speaking to your conscious mind in the only language it knows: experience. You haven't been living life. You've been living your psychology. The work of Carl Jung, empath and personal development, reveals something most people miss their entire lives. You're not experiencing objective reality. You've never experienced objective reality. Not once. Every single moment has been filtered through your complexes, your shadow, your unlived potential, your unhealed wounds. You've been living in a psychological simulation of your own creation, thinking it was the world. Until you see this, really see it in your bones, you're trapped in an endless loop, fighting shadows on the wall, thinking they're real monsters, exhausting yourself against illusions. But once you understand the game you've been playing without knowing you were playing it, everything shifts. Not because your external life changes, but because you finally see what your life actually is. A perfect mirror, a flawless feedback system, your psyche externalizing itself so you can finally recognize what's been invisible inside. There was a period in his life when the man who discovered this nearly lost his mind. After breaking with Freud, he descended into what he called his confrontation with the unconscious. Visions flooded him. Figures spoke to him. Ancient symbols appeared in his dreams with terrifying intensity. His ego wanted to fight it, label it madness, make it stop. But something deeper in him recognized this wasn't breakdown. It was breakthrough. The unconscious wasn't attacking him. It was revealing itself, demanding to be seen, asking to be integrated. He didn't just theorize about the psyche. He mapped it by walking through his own underworld. He discovered the architecture of human consciousness by surrendering to his own chaos and finding the pattern within it. What he found became the foundation for understanding why you are the way you are, why you do what you do, why your life looks the way it looks. This isn't theory. This is the architecture of experience itself. Before we go deeper into what might genuinely be the last lesson you'll ever need, if something in these words is awakening recognition in you, press that like button and subscribe. Your support helps this message reach other souls, walking through their own labyrinth, trying to find their way home to themselves. Because here's the truth that makes this different from every other video about transformation, healing, or growth. Once you understand what we're about to explore, you stop seeking answers outside. You stop collecting insights like souvenirs. You stop needing the next teacher, the next book, the next method. Not because you have all the answers, but because you finally understand the question. And the question was never out there. It was always in here, asking to be seen. To understand why this might be the last lesson you need, we have to go deeper into how your psyche actually creates your reality. Your unconscious is constantly projecting itself onto the world. Right now, in this moment, everything you're experiencing is being filtered, shaped, and colored by material you're not aware of. Every unintegrated part of your psyche gets projected outward and appears to come at you from outside. Your shadow, the parts of yourself you've rejected or denied, shows up as the people who trigger you. Your anima or animus, your inner feminine or masculine, appears as who you're magnetically drawn to. Your complexes, those emotional patterns running in the background, show up as your recurring problems. You're not experiencing life, you're experiencing your own unconscious externalized. Think about someone who genuinely bothers you, not someone who's actually harmful or abusive, just someone whose personality makes you irrationally irritated. That reaction isn't really about them. That's your own rejected aspect. You hate in them what you've disowned in yourself. Now think about someone you've been obsessed with, can't stop thinking about, feel intensely drawn to. That's not them either. That's your own unlived potential, your inner opposite projected onto them, like they're a movie screen for your psyche. Here's where it gets profound. Everything is this. Every single experience follows this pattern. There was a woman who kept attracting narcissists. Every relationship, same story. She thought she had terrible luck with men. But through depth work, she discovered something shocking. She was projecting her own disowned grandiosity. Deep down, she had massive self-importance that her conscious mind couldn't accept. So she rejected it, and it appeared outside her as the narcissists she kept meeting. There was a man who kept getting betrayed. Jobs, friendships, romantic relationships. Someone always stabbed him in the back. He lived in constant suspicion, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it always did, until he saw it. He was projecting his own capacity for betrayal, his own moments of dishonesty he couldn't face in himself. The chaos you see around you matches the chaos inside you. The peace you experience externally reflects inner peace. The love or lack of love in your life mirrors your relationship with yourself. This is the projection mechanism. And once you see it, you stop fighting the mirror. Imagine punching a mirror because you don't like your reflection. Completely insane, right? That's what you've been doing your entire life. Fighting with people who are showing you yourself, resisting situations that are revealing your psyche, running from experiences that are just your unconscious becoming conscious. But here's the liberating part. Once you recognize projection as projection, the pattern loses its grip. The controlling people in that woman's life didn't actually disappear, but they stopped seeming controlling. Because she took back her projection. She owned her own need for control. And suddenly, external reality shifted, because internal reality shifted. This reveals something crucial. You only have one problem: unconsciousness. Depression is unconscious grief or rage turned inward. Anxiety is unconscious material trying to surface. Addiction is unconscious, need-seeking fulfillment through unconscious means. Relationship problems are two sets of unconscious projections, colliding and thinking they're in love. Every problem you think you have is just unconsciousness, wearing a different costume. There was a woman who went through 5 marriages, 5 completely different men. 5 relationships that ended the exact same way. She thought she had the worst luck imaginable. But through careful examination, the pattern emerged. She didn't meet 5 different men. She met her own unconscious pattern 5 times dressed as different people. Once she saw the pattern, once she made it conscious, she didn't need a 6th marriage to learn the lesson. The cycle was complete. The unconscious material had become conscious. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But you're already who you truly are. You're just unconscious of it. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. Every fate is just unconscious pattern. Every stroke of bad luck is unconscious repetition. That's just how life is unconscious acceptance of unconscious programming. But here's why this matters. Since every problem is really the same problem unconsciousness, there's really only one solution. Consciousness. Not positive consciousness. Not enlightened consciousness. Just plain seeing. Awareness. Recognition of what's actually happening versus what appears to be happening. When you see that you're creating your abandonment experiences, the pattern loses power. When you recognize you're projecting your shadow onto others, the projection returns home. When you realize you're living out an unconscious complex, the complex begins to dissolve. Consciousness is the universal solvent. It dissolves every problem by revealing the problem was never what you thought it was. Your unconscious creates situations until you get conscious. It will keep generating the same lesson in different clothing until you finally see what's being shown. The repetition isn't punishment, it's invitation. Your psyche loves you enough to keep trying. Every pattern chasing you through different faces, places, situations, is just asking one question. Are you ready to see me yet? Are you ready to take me back? Are you ready to become conscious? What pattern has been chasing you? What keeps showing up no matter how far you run? That's not your enemy. That's your teacher. That's unconscious material begging to become conscious. That's you trying to meet yourself. But to truly understand this, to make it real and not just intellectual, we need to meet something you've been running from your entire life. Your shadow is everything you rejected to be acceptable. It's every quality you decided was bad, wrong, or shameful. Every impulse you suppressed. Every desire you denied. Every part of yourself you amputated to fit in, to be loved, to be safe. The shadow is the disowned self, and it doesn't disappear just because you reject it. It goes underground. It goes into the unconscious, and from there, it runs your life in ways you can't see. Who irritates you? That's not them. That's your disowned power or vulnerability or wildness or sensitivity staring back at you. Every person who triggers you is a shadow messenger. The nice person who hates aggressive people is rejecting their own healthy aggression. The intellectual who despises emotional people is rejecting their own feeling nature. The spiritual person who judges materialistic people is rejecting their own earthly desires. You can't integrate what you can't see. Shadow work is the gateway, and the people who bother you most are handing you the map. During his own descent, he encountered a figure in his visions. Dark, powerful, everything his conscious personality was not. His first instinct was to fight it, reject it, push it away. But he made a different choice. He spoke with it. He asked what it wanted. He listened. What he discovered changed everything. The shadow wasn't his enemy. It held his greatest strength in exile, his creativity, his power, his authenticity. Everything he'd cut off to be respectable was waiting in the shadow. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's your exiled potential, waiting to come home. And then there's the inner other. For men, the anima, the unconscious feminine. For women, the animus, the unconscious masculine. This is why you fall in love. You're not really falling in love with another person. You're projecting your unlived self onto them. The man obsessed with a woman who embodied sensitivity and emotional depth was really longing for his own unexpressed anima. The woman drawn to powerful, decisive men was projecting her own unlived animus. In mature relating, you reclaim the projection. You develop your own inner opposite. And then you can meet the actual person standing in front of you, not your projection. Everyone you've ever loved was showing you a part of yourself. The intensity you felt wasn't really about them. It was about you recognizing your own unlived potential in external form. This is where Carl Jung empath and personal development intersects with the deepest spiritual truths. You are not who you think you are. Behind all the projections, beneath all the patterns, beyond all the complexes, there's something that doesn't project. There's awareness itself, the witness, the self with a capital S. You are not your thoughts. You are what observes thoughts. You're not your emotions. You are what experiences emotions moving through. You're not your problems. You are what's aware of problems arising and passing. This changes everything. You're not depressed. You're aware of depression moving through you. You're not anxious. You're aware of anxiety arising. You're not your trauma. You're aware of trauma patterns playing out. This isn't denial. It's a fundamental shift in identity. And from this position, you have options you didn't have when you thought you were the problem. During his most intense period of inner work, he was flooded with overwhelming visions and emotions. His ego was terrified. But then he found something deeper, the part of him that could observe the chaos without being consumed by it. From that witness position, he could engage the visions without drowning in them. He could dialogue with the figures without becoming them. He could experience the process without losing himself in it. He found the self that remains stable while everything else changes. The awareness that stays clear while all content clouds. The witness that remains free while the ego struggles. You thought you were a wave. You're the entire ocean. One method he developed was active imagination. Direct dialogue with the unconscious. He would sit and allow figures to emerge. The wise old man, the divine child, the shadow, the anima, and he would speak with them, ask them questions, listen to their responses. These weren't separate beings. They were fragmented parts of himself seeking integration. His own inner wisdom projected as an old man, his own creative potential personified as a child, his own darkness given voice. He encountered one figure named Philemon, an old man with wisdom that seemed beyond his own knowing. Through conversations with Philemon, profound insights emerged. Insights he didn't consciously possess. But here's the revelation. It was all him. His own unconscious wisdom speaking through the medium of imagination. Everything he sought outside was already inside waiting to be heard. Your unconscious wants to speak. It's been speaking through symptoms, dreams, patterns, and problems. It's been leaving breadcrumbs your entire life. The question is, are you listening? What if your deepest wisdom isn't out there in books and teachers? What if it's been inside you all along, waiting for you to turn inward and ask? Now that you've met the depths, the question becomes, what do you do with this knowing? Living as the observer means catching projections in real time. When you're triggered, pause. Don't react. Ask instead, what part of me is this revealing? When a pattern repeats, wonder what is trying to become conscious. When you feel victimized, inquire, how am I creating this experience? This isn't about blame, it's about power. The power to see what's actually happening. Language shifts reality. Small changes in how you speak to yourself create massive psychological shifts. Instead of, I am anxious, try, I'm experiencing anxiety. Instead of, this always happens to me. Notice, this pattern is playing out again. Instead of, they betrayed me. Explore. This situation is showing me something about trust. These aren't just semantic games. They pull you out of identification and return you to awareness. And from awareness, transformation becomes possible. This is the art of holding tension, being in the movie while watching it, living and observing simultaneously. You're both participant and witness dreamer, and the one waking inside the dream. Your ego will resist. It will try to collapse back into identification. But true growth happens in the tension between extremes. Not trapped in the problem, not escaping into denial. Present with what is, while knowing you're more than what is. For shadow integration, start with your triggers. They're your shadow map. Every person who irritates you is pointing to a disowned quality. Ask yourself, what quality in them am I rejecting in myself? Then find where that quality lives in you. It's always there. You just haven't been looking. The person who seems too aggressive. Look for where you suppress your own healthy boundaries. The person who seems too emotional. Notice where you've cut off your own feeling nature. The person who seems too selfish. Find where you've abandoned your own needs. Then comes acceptance. Not acting out the shadow, but acknowledging it exists, observing it without judgment. This is me too. Integration happens gradually. Small expressions of the disowned quality. The nice person learning to say no. The intellectual allowing themselves to cry. The spiritual seeker enjoying material pleasures without guilt. Every trigger is an opportunity. Every irritation is an invitation to become whole. Your unconscious speaks in images, especially in dreams. Water represents the unconscious itself, emotions flowing beneath awareness. A house symbolizes the self. Different rooms, different aspects of personality. Death signals transformation, not literal ending. Flying indicates freedom from limitation. Work with dreams by recording them immediately upon waking. Ask what part of me is each dream figure representing. Notice recurring symbols and themes. Don't interpret literally. Feel into the emotional truth beneath the images. One person had recurring dreams of drowning. Not about water, literally. About being overwhelmed by emotions they'd been suppressing. Integration meant learning to feel without being consumed. Learning to swim in the unconscious rather than fearing it. This connects to synchronicity, meaningful coincidence. When outer events mirror inner states in ways that can't be explained by causation. These moments aren't magic. They're your unconscious projecting so powerfully that external reality seems to respond. Build ongoing dialogue with your unconscious through active imagination. Journal prompts that access deeper knowing. What does my shadow want to tell me? What is my wise inner self advising? What does the wounded child in me need? Create ritual and space for inner work. Not as performance, but as genuine inquiry. Approach with curiosity, not force. Integration takes time. Your ego will fight, because this threatens its control. When resistance arises, that's not failure. That's proof you're close to breakthrough. The ego only fights what matters. How long does this take? It's lifelong. But breakthroughs happen in moments. Each conscious recognition shifts the entire system. This is the practice of Carl Jung empath and personal development at its most practical. Not collecting insights, but living them. Not knowing about the psyche, but becoming intimate with your own. So now you have the map and methods. But here's what makes this truly transformational. This is the last lesson you'll need, because once you understand projection, you stop seeking answers outside. Every teacher, every book, every video becomes just a mirror for your own knowing. This script isn't teaching you anything. It's reflecting something you already know, but haven't made conscious. These aren't my words. They're your words, projected onto this medium, waiting for you to recognize them as yours. Every breakthrough you've ever had didn't come from new information. It came from suddenly seeing what was always there. The answer didn't arrive. It was revealed. You didn't learn something new. You remembered something forgotten. Everything you need to know is already in your unconscious. Every answer, every insight, every solution waiting to become conscious. You don't need more information. You need more consciousness about the information you already have. You don't need more answers. You need to see the answers hiding in your questions. Every seeking is actually avoiding. Every search outside is fleeing from inside. Every next video or book is postponing the real work, facing what you already know, but don't want to know. Your entire life is your unconscious becoming conscious. Every person you meet, a part of you, seeking recognition. Every situation you face, your psyche, trying to recognize itself. Every moment of experience, projection, and reflection, teaching you who you are. You're not here to win the game of life. You're here to wake up within it. You're not here to fix the world. You're here to understand that what you see as the world is your own inner landscape reflected back. You're not here to become someone new. You're here to remember who you've always been. Your life hasn't been punishing you. It's been teaching you. Every pain was a pointer. Every pattern was a prayer for consciousness. Every wound was a doorway you just couldn't see yet. The sacred responsibility isn't to be perfect. It's to be conscious, to see yourself clearly, to take back your projections, to integrate your shadow, to recognize yourself in everything. Who you become through this work isn't a different person. You're no longer identified with ego personality alone. You rest as the self, the witness, the observer, the awareness beneath all content. You still have problems, but you're not the problems. You still feel emotions, but you don't drown in them. You're still in the world, but no longer lost in it the old way. The paradox resolves. You're fully human and fully aware simultaneously. You stop fighting life and start dancing with it. You stop resisting what is and start seeing what it reveals. This is the quiet power of one who knows. I am the mirror and what's being mirrored. I am the dreamer and the dream. I am the question and the answer. There's nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, no one to become. You're already whole. You've always been whole. The work is just removing veils of unconsciousness, one breath at a time, one projection recognized at a time, one moment of awareness at a time. Right now, you're aware of these words. That awareness that's closer to who you are than anything you think about yourself. That awareness has always been there, unchanged by every experience, untouched by every problem present through every moment of your life. You are not your story. You're the space in which all stories arise. And that space is unlimited, unbroken, free. The journey doesn't end here. It begins. Because now you know. Every moment is an opportunity to wake up inside your own life. If this message resonates, if it feels like remembering more than learning, then you're already walking this path. Comment below and share what's awakening in you. Subscribe to continue this journey into the depths of consciousness. Because in the labyrinth of psyche, you don't escape yourself. You finally meet yourself. And that meeting changes everything.